It is
All
now.
right. So let's go ahead and get started. So, hi everyone. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Solarize Irvine online workshop. My name is Elise Brio and I'm the Community Outreach and Communications Manager at Osico Solar. And we're so thrilled to be here tonight to share how this program can help you explore solar, battery storage, EV charging, and electrifying your home. So we also know that a major reason why a lot of you are here tonight is to learn about how to access the federal 30% tax credit for solar now that it is ending much more abruptly than initially thought. So there has been quite a lot of anxiety and urgency around what this means for folks who are trying to save on going solar and trying to access this credit before it expires. So a big part of what we will be doing tonight is to walk you through all of that to clarify the opportunities that are still on the table so that you can feel confident navigating your process of going solar and saving on your energy bills. So, before we get started, I just want to share a few housekeeping notes. So we do ask that you please stay on mute throughout the workshop. And if you do have a question, feel free to go ahead and type it directly in the chat. And we are going to be monitoring that throughout the workshop this evening. So we will have dedicated staff in there to answer your questions as they pop up. And also, please note that we will have a specific Q&A section at the end of the workshop where you will have the opportunity to unmute yourself and ask any questions directly to our solar installers and to the OCECO Solar team. Then tomorrow morning, we also are going to be sending you an email that will include the presentation slides, along with lots of additional helpful resources to help you navigate your solar journey. So there is no need to worry about furiously writing down everything that you see on the slides. And we are also recording this session, and we will be posting that onto our YouTube page in the next coming days. So, to kick things off, I would love to get a sense of what folks are interested in hearing about tonight. So, please just go ahead and type in the chat what brought you here or what you're hoping to learn about.
At least can we get it full screen? Uh, Does
Do
everyone
you
see?
not see it full screen?
No, I don't. I don't know if everybody else is seeing it. Celine, do you know?
I
You
see a
can-
full screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
do
mean, I do
too.
see speakers at the top, but
I see
yeah,
full.
I can see the slide.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We already have someone who says they're interested in a heat pump, water heater, interested in solar and battery storage, how it affects your property taxes. All right. Oh, and also, if you notice that your name on your Zoom square says Elise Brio, please go ahead and change that. That was a little quirk of our registration process. So, um, as much as I love to see my name everywhere, you can go ahead and change it to your own name. Um, all right, so as we hear people's responses coming in, I want to also walk you through tonight's agenda so that you can know what to expect. So we are going to start with some opening remarks from Jocelyn Fritz, who is with the City of Irvine, whom we are so grateful to be partnering with on the Solarize Irvine program. I then am going to give you a brief overview of OSECO Solar and how the program works, followed by information about the latest tax credits, rebates, and incentives. Then next, we have an exciting new segment in our workshop. So we have Jose Orozco Pelico, who's with the USC Credit Union, and he is going to be talking to us all about financing options for solar through the state of California's Go Green financing program. Then we will have a testimonial from a local mother and daughter duo, Sandy and Holly, who went solar through the Solarize Irvine program this year. And then we are going to hear from our program participating solar contractors. So first we have iKim Solar, who is going to teach us all about how solar panels work. And then we will have Synergy, who is going to talk to us about battery systems. And finally, we will have our dedicated Q&A section, as I mentioned earlier. And then finally, we will close with the next steps if you're interested in going through the program. All right, so before we dive in, I do want to thank our partners at the City of Irvine who are here tonight for their generous support of the Solarize Irvine program. And I would like to welcome climate analyst Jocelyn Fritz to share a few words on behalf of the city. So take it away, Jocelyn.
Hi, Elise. Thank you so much. We're so happy to be here. We love this partnership as well. So I'm really excited to represent Irvine and talk about all the great work that you guys are doing. So as Elise said, my name is Jocelyn Fritz. I'm the climate analyst for the City of Irvine, and I work in our Public Works and Sustainability Department. We cover projects like energy, solid waste, resiliency, climate policy, and so much more. You can find our sustainability booth at all major city events like Earth Day, Cyclo Irvine, and Global Village, just to name a few. I also have on this call with me Celine Lawrence Delafontaine. She's my colleague, so if you see her name pop up and she's answering questions, or you see her active in the chat, that's where she is. So keep an eye out for her. We actually have a ton of events coming up this October, which is really exciting, but we don't usually have a longer segment when I'm doing this portion of the presentation, talking about the events that we have going on. So I'm gonna go through this as quick as possible while still kind of, keeping everyone engaged. And just a heads up, we will also post all of these in the chat. We'll post the name of the event, the date, and then we'll drop a link as well, just so you're informed on what's going on at the city level. So the first one that we have is this Friday, October 3rd, Irvine's Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, also known as our CAP, CAAP, is open for public comment. So please go to cityofirvine.org/CAAP to leave your comment. It's only open for 2 more days, so please check out our plan and let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. Secondly, Tuesday, October 7th at 6 p.m., we have a Zero Home webinar, and that's XERHOME. The zero in that kind of, can be a little confusing. So learn directly from Zero Home CEO and discover how to use their platform to make the most of your home energy upgrades. Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is one of Irvine's largest events. It's Irvine Global Village Festival at the Great Park. So here we'll be celebrating Irvine's diverse community. The annual festival includes local and global cuisine, a global marketplace, music, art, and exhibits. So definitely come and check out our booth. We'll be there. We're near the Visitor Center this year, so come say hi. Saturday, October 18th from 9 a.m. to noon, we're doing a free compost event for Irvine residents. This is also at the Great Park at parking lot 8. So Irvine residents can receive up to 3 pre-packaged bags, 20 pounds per bag of free compost. We do usually have people there to help support and move compost in case you need any help with that, or the bags, I should say. Compost is available on a first come, first served basis. The event is supported by Tierra Verde Industries, also known as TVI, and Orange County Waste and Recycling. And lastly, Saturday, October 25th, from 9 to 11 a.m., we're doing a free paper shredding event at Lakeview Senior Center. So in partnership with the City of Irvine, Waste Management is hosting this event. Irvine residents can safely and securely dispose of up to 5 banker-sized file boxes. This event is first come, first served, and will end early if the truck capacity is reached at that time. So looking into the future, we really hope to see you guys at our upcoming events. So come say hi and check us out. We always have a ton of things going on. All right, so really, why are you guys here tonight? That's the big question. So we're here to talk about solar and a solar program. So why did Irvine want a solar program to begin with? The first thing is that the solar industry is incredibly complex, and our community told us that, right? So we listened and wanted to bounce off of what our community said. People were telling us it's really confusing. You have to deal with multiple contractors and go through so many hoops and, all these crazy things. And so that's what we heard from our community. So we wanted to help streamline this and figure out how we can make this more accessible to the people in our community. So secondly, this ties in perfectly with our climate action and adaptation plan. In that plan, the second largest emitter of greenhouse gas emissions is the building sector, which means that getting solar on homes would help move the needle on the city's climate goals. And third, the city really wants to expand our resilience efforts. Helping our residents get solar and battery systems installed on their houses will have a large positive impact on our city's energy resources. The presenters today will explain a little bit more about resiliency through battery storage, so keep an eye out for that portion of the presentation. Okay, so then why did we want to partner with Otsego Solar, right? Like, how did this even come to be? So, and just a heads up, you guys, the partnership is Otsego Solar with the City of Irvine, making this really beautiful culmination of Solarize Irvine program. So a lot of those terms will kind of be thrown around, but this is a partnership between our two organizations. So Otsego Solar is a grassroots organization that was founded right here in Irvine. We've seen so much success in the program through interest, signups, and community excitement that it's shown us that our residents really value having this as a resource right here in our backyard. Otsego Solar has a community evaluation panel. So what even is that, right? This is a process that is done annually where a committee of neighbors and subject matter experts volunteer to evaluate contractors to determine if they're a good fit to serve our community. This is really what sets Otsego Solar apart from other solar education organizations. They go above and beyond to ensure best practices, as you'll hear about during their presentation today. So the Solarize Irvine partnership started in 2022. So we've been doing this for a few years now. We often still to this day get calls and emails from residents about their interest and satisfaction with this Solarize program. The concept reaches people and makes a daunting process feel doable, which we as city employees really love to hear, and we value that. So I'm here today to tell you all of this because right now is the time to use those expiring federal tax credits. We want to help you get solar on your home if this is what you're interested in. So please ask those questions that you have today. So once again, my name is Jocelyn Fritz, as you can probably see on the Zoom call here. If you have any further questions or comments, please throw it in the chat. Either myself or Celine will do our best to answer your questions. But thank you guys and enjoy the rest of the presentation. We're so happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn, for the kind words. As always, we're so happy to have you here as well. So let me go ahead and give a brief overview of Otsego Solar and the Solarize Irvine campaign. And thank you, Jocelyn, for already getting that started a bit for us. So our small but mighty team is here tonight. So again, I'm Elise Brio, and I lead the communications and community outreach at Otsego Solar. We also have Alexis Anaya and Alana Donis, who are here to help us run tech. And then our executive director, Sanait Forthal, as well as our board chair, Randy Crane, are available to help answer any questions that you have during this workshop. And we're also very excited to welcome our newest board member, Maureen Callahan, who is joining us this evening. So Otsego Solar is a nonprofit that started in 2017 with a simple idea, just neighbors helping other neighbors to go solar. And it began in a very grassroots format, literally just giving workshops in each other's neighborhoods, in living rooms, those sort of settings. And it eventually grew into a formal 501c3 nonprofit in 2019. And then, as Jocelyn mentioned, in 2022, became an official partnership with the City of Irvine through the Solarize Irvine program. And our mission is simply to make clean energy accessible and affordable for all OC residents. So we seek to fulfill this mission through our three main programs. The first one, which we're focusing on here tonight, is the Solarize Irvine program. And the next two, which I will touch on a bit briefly later in the workshop tonight, are the Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing Program, as well as our home electrification program. And so these two are focused really on supporting lower income and less resourced communities and being able to access clean energy. So now I want to dive a little bit more into how Solarize Irvine works and what it is really. So this is a community-based solar group purchasing program. I know that's a lot of words, but we'll get into it. So our goals of this program are that we want to lower the cost of going solar, as well as simplifying the process of choosing a contractor and choosing equipment. We also want to ensure quality, transparency, and consumer confidence. We do, of course, want to reduce carbon emissions in our region. And then finally, we want to support local businesses and stimulate our local green economy. Now, let me walk you through how this whole process works. So, the first step is that Oseco Solar prepares and distributes a request for proposals or an RFP to local solar companies in the region. And as Jocelyn was mentioning earlier, we then bring together a community evaluation panel. So this is made up of volunteers who live in the city of Irvine, and they come from a variety of backgrounds. So some of them are experts in finance or in the clean energy sector, and others are simply passionate community members who are seeking to make a difference. And it's actually this panel of volunteers who reviews all of the proposals, interviews the companies, and ultimately selects which installers participate in the program every year. So while it is Oseco Solar who is organizing and facilitating all this, it really is your local community evaluation panel who's making the final decisions. And every year, about 2 or 3 contractors are chosen for the program. And this year, we're very happy to have iCam Solar and Sunergy on board with us. So next, step 4, and the step that we're currently all experiencing together right now, is that we host public workshops in partnership with the city. And these can occur online, like the one we're at right now, or we do in-person workshops as well. And the point of these is to educate folks about clean energy, as well as to walk people through how they can participate in the program. And then finally, for step 5, after the workshops, you are able to get free quotes from our participating solar installers. And throughout the whole process, Oseco Solar is here to support you for up to a year. And we are able to answer any questions, offer technical guidance, and just help you feel more confident along the way of your solar journey. And we also recommend getting multiple quotes and exploring all of your options. You don't actually have to go through the Solarize Irvine program or the contractors that have been selected. We're happy to help you evaluate quotes and just feel confident in your choice. And we also just want to reiterate that we're not a solar company. We are a nonprofit who's seeking to provide community education and support. And the contracts are strictly between you and the solar contractors. So Oseco Solar and the City of Irvine are not parties to any contract, and we do not endorse any specific installer. And a very exciting metric is that since 2017, Oseco Solar has helped over 800 homeowners in the region to go solar. And we're so proud to celebrate this milestone and are really excited to support all of you on your journey towards cleaner and more affordable energy. Additionally, we have a robust volunteer program at Oseco Solar. So if you are interested in supporting our mission, there are so many ways that you can get involved. And after the workshop, you can just go ahead and send us an email, and we will be providing you with our email address as well. And we can follow up on different opportunities to get involved. So next, I just want to quickly highlight those two other programs that I mentioned at Oseco Solar. So on the top of the slide, we have SOMA, or Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing. And the goal of this program, which is through the state of California, is to allow lower income renters to be able to access solar. Typically, one needs to be a homeowner to have solar panels. And so this is a really unique program to expand access to communities who have typically been excluded from solar. And this is the largest program of its kind in the country. And then at the bottom of the slide is our home electrification program. And this is a new and exciting venture for Oseco Solar. So we are very excited to be expanding into this, particularly coming into the next year. So we are going to be offering resources on our website about various rebates and tax credits, as well as where to find energy efficient electric appliances for your home. So on that note, um, home electrification essentially just means switching out your traditional fossil fuel powered, I don't know why the word is coming to me in Spanish, electrodomésticos, your
Appliances.
appliances. Thank you. So switching out your appliances to more energy efficient electric ones. So this could include things like replacing your air conditioner heater with a heat pump, or your water heater with a heat pump water heater, switching out your gas stove to an induction cooktop, EV chargers, all sorts of ways to make your home more energy efficient. And of course, electrifying your home goes in tandem with getting solar for your home as well. So we're really excited to be educating folks coming into the new year about how they can make these upgrades to their homes. And now I would like to dive into probably what's top of mind for a lot of us here tonight, and that is the federal tax credits for solar that are going to be expiring at the end of this year. And so, as many of us know, this change has happened pretty abruptly. And so, we want to help just educate you all on how you can take advantage of these tax credits while they're still available. And I do want to give a quick disclaimer that the information that we are presenting here is purely for education. And if you have any questions regarding your individual tax situation, we always recommend that you consult your tax advisor. So anyhow, on that note, as of now, you can still deduct 30% of the cost of rooftop solar and battery storage, but you do have only until December 31st of this year to be able to claim that. And in order to qualify, your system does need to be fully installed and paid for by that date. So that's very important to remember. And we also just want you to be aware that solar installations can take at least 8 weeks under the best conditions. And with fall here, we are potentially looking at some more rainy days and the holiday season that could potentially slow installations down a bit. And right now, there are a lot of people that are wanting to go solar in order to take advantage of the tax credits. And so there is quite a surge in demand at the moment. And so our solar installers are a lot busier than usual. That is all to say that if you are interested in going solar, getting batteries to claim this 30% tax credit, we highly recommend that you get started as soon as possible. Additionally, I do want to note that through the Solaris Irvine program, we are able to connect you with our community chosen installers. Because of this tight timeline, it is possible that if you want to claim the tax credit, you might have to explore going through other companies as well. And we are, of course, happy to help you review any quotes to get another set of eyes and to help you explore what's going to be the best option for you. And in addition to the rooftop solar and battery rebates, we also have federal tax credits for heat pump, air conditioner, and heater, as well as heat pump water heaters, where you can get up to 2,000 for each of those. And again, those are also expiring at the end of the year. And one that is expiring a little bit later is the EV charger. So you have until June of next year to claim the up to $1,000 for getting an EV charger. And I also do want to emphasize that solar is not going away after 2025. So you still will be able to go solar in 2026 and beyond. The difference is just that you won't be able to have access to this particular 30% solar credit. And so you might need to explore other financing options or local or state programs to help make it more affordable. Okay, on that note, we have some very exciting rebates happening at the local level. So with Orange County Power Authority with OCPA. If you are a customer of them, meaning if you live in Irvine, Fullerton, or Buena Park, they have some really cool incentives happening right now. So one of the coolest ones is you can get a free EV charger through them. So up to the cost of $1,000, you simply order this online through their marketplace and you get it sent to your house for free, which is very cool. And they also have a $1,000 rebate for battery systems. And an important quirk to know about this program is that you actually have to, if you're interested in accessing this, you actually have to apply for it before you purchase your battery. So it's a little bit different than traditional rebate programs. But do keep that in mind. That's a really great way to make your batteries a bit more affordable. And finally, you can also get a free energy efficiency kit through OCPA's marketplace, which is worth about $50. And then finally, through the state of California, they have some new heat pump incentives. So if you want to get a heat pump air conditioning unit, you can get up to $1,500 back on that. And if you want a heat pump water heater, you can get up to $3,800 from that. So again, this is a lot of information. So don't worry, we are going to be, again, emailing these slides to you as well as more in-depth resources about how you can access all of these. And also feel free, of course, to use the chat in our Q&A section for any more detailed questions that you may have. Okay, so on that note, we are very excited now to welcome Jose Orozco Pelico, who is the Associate Vice President of Clean Energy Lending at the USC Credit Union. And so he's going to share with all of us how we can finance solar and other clean energy upgrades with some affordable financing options. So take it away, Jose.
Thank you, Elise. And thank you very much for having me. It's great to see everybody on this call. And just to add, also, it might take about 8 weeks to deploy, but if you need to do upgrades or do a re-roof on your property, that might extend the timeline. So to keep that in mind as well. There's a lot of reasons to electrify your property or to transition into clean energy. But some of them are also California state goals that have been adopted through Senate bills. I actually don't want to go through the entirety of this because I do want to focus on the financing options just based on the chat comments that have been made. But there are a few California energy goals, for example, 100% carbon-free electricity by 2045, and then also carbon neutrality by 2045 as well. And if you go to the next slide. There's also a goal to deploy 6 million heat pumps by 2030 and carbon-free buildings by 2045. So this is another reason why. And you might ask, well, how are we going to achieve this? And how are we going to meet these goals? So a lot of it can be done through self-financing, meaning that you would pay by cash. There's a lot of great options out there. There's a lot of alternative options. If you do own a property, you have options to tap into your equity through either a refinance cash out or a home equity line of credit. There's also personal loans, and there's also solar loans that are available through various financial institutions, banks, credit unions, and CDFIs. So for example, we are a credit union, we're also a CDFI, and we've partnered up with the state of California through their Go Green financing program. So at least if you can go to the next slide. So this is a program that was initiated by the California Public Utilities Commission in 2013. And it was to incentivize private capital to provide low-cost financing options for clean energy adoptions, including solar and battery deployments. But it also provides a wide range of other clean energy technology adoptions like EV chargers. You can do heat pumps. You can do appliances as well. So when it comes to home electrification, if you're looking for financing to swap out your gas-powered stove for an induction stove, you're able to do that as well. The loans range depending on the credit union or financial institution that is participating in the program. They can range anywhere from $200, as low as $200, up to $50,000. And if your project includes a solar and battery deployment, then you can actually go up to $75,000 and up to 20 years in financing. And if you're capped at the 50, then it's up to 15 years. Now, this is open to renters and homeowners alike. So when we talk about renters, we could be speaking about multi-generational housing. If the owner of the property might be a parent or another individual that you live with, you as a renter or living in the property not tied to the property can take out the loan on behalf of the homeowner as well. And one of the great things of this is that it allows for ITIN lending. So if you have an ITIN and you don't have a social security number, you're eligible to apply. This covers any single family homes from 1 to 4 units, any townhomes, condos, and also manufactured homes. And the minimum FICO score for this is 580. You can also apply and get financing if you don't have any FICO score, as long as you don't have any derogatory credit marks on your credit report. And right now, the rates are trending. I saw the rates today with across the board with the credit unions that are participating. They're around, in the mid 3% at the lowest. And some of them include also rate reductions, additional rate reductions, such as auto pay or just having a specific type of relationship with the credit union. This is also open to multifamily housing. So if you own or live in a multifamily, it is also eligible for multifamily. The lenders, some lenders participate. For example, USC Credit Union does not participate in the multifamily program, but we do participate in the residential one. There's other credit unions that participate in the Go Green that are also eligible to do financing in multifamily. And if you own a business or anybody that has a business as well, there is the commercial Go Green program as well, where other financial institutions and CDFIs qualify for that program. And if you can go to the next slide. Oh, and one thing I want to touch on the Go Green, this is actually, there's no liens on your property. There's no UCC1 liens on the collateral as well. So it's just a completely unsecured loan that's not tied to your property at all. Within the Go Green financing, there is a special financing for 0% and up to 10 years and 2% up to 15 years. Now, there are a couple of restrictions to this. It does have to include at a minimum, a heat pump or a heat pump water heater, and the cost of the entirety of the projects cannot exceed more than $30,000. So as long as the project does not exceed $30,000 and it includes at a minimum a heat pump, then you can get financing for 0% up to 10 years or 2% up to 15 years. Now, this is based on a couple of criteria, one of them being where the property is located geographically. They do utilize the CARB map, meaning that you have to enter your address. I went ahead and utilized the zip code here my apologies, I forgot the zip code. What was the zip code, Elise, that we utilize?
For this map, it's 92617.
Yeah, thank you, Randall. So we utilize the zip code. So essentially, any neighborhood within a colored area would be eligible to participate in the program. The gray area would be not eligible. So they do have this map where you can enter the zip code or the property. and we will tell you if it's eligible to participate in the program. The other qualifying criteria is that it would have to be followed by income qualification, or if you are outside of that income qualification, if someone in your household is participating in one of these programs, meaning either the HERO rebate, which is a heat pump rebate, if you participate in CARE, Medi-Cal, Medicaid, if you receive SSI, if you're participating in the Weatherization Assistance Program, in WIC, CalFresh SNAP, or if you participate in the LIHEAP program as well. So it's one restricted to geographic area, and then two, either income or one of these participating qualifiers. And it's a great program. It's not really widely advertised. Not a lot of the credit unions or CDFIs that participate in Go Green are offering this program. You would just have to check in with the credit union. It's just and ask them if they are participating in this program and if you qualify to be able to obtain the 0% financing for 10 years or the 2% financing for 15 years. And anybody that has been in the industry, or if you've been shopping around, which I also encourage you to do, always shop around for quotes to receive interest rates from various lenders to see what would fit you best. But 0% or 2%, it's really hard to pass on. And it's a really great financing program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the links in the chat that go directly to the state website, where you can enter your zip code and you can search for one of the participating credit unions in your area, where you can obtain a quote for your project. And then also where you can search for contractors. In order to obtain financing through Go Green, the project does have to be completed by a state vetted contractor. They have a long list, and if your contractor that you would want to work with is not on that list, it's actually very easy to apply. We've gotten a lot of members that come with their own contractors. They're not part of Go Green. They just submit their documentation, which is usually your license, your insurance, and it takes about 3 to 5 days for the state to review it and approve it. And then they become an approved Go Green contractor. And one of the great things with that is that that's another way that that business can obtain additional projects if they would like to through the Go Green state program. So I'll drop it in the chat here. And next slide. So that's it. Thank you very much for having me. There's a link to our landing page if you're interested in visiting our webpage. Or if you want to send me an email, you're more than happy to just copy the email there and send me an email, and we'll communicate. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jose. That was so helpful. Okay, so now we're very excited. If they're on the chat, I know a lot of us are still named Elise Brio in the Zoom. So if Holly and Sandy are here, we'd like to welcome you to go ahead and tell us about your experience with the Solarize Irvine program. Holly and Sandy, are you here? Okay. All right, Holly and Sandy, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure if they were able to make it onto the Zoom. There might have been some technical difficulties. But here you can see the size of their solar program. They were able to get 16 solar panels and 4 Enphase batteries in order to go solar through the Solarize Irvine program. And also on our website, osecosolar.org, you are able to see various other testimonials from our customers who, our program participating residents. And you can be able to see, everyone's experience and how it's been able to be beneficial for our community. Okay, so now yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we could ask Randy to give a testimonial because he's done solar also, if he's willing to do so in their place.
I'll just do it very, very quickly.
Yeah,
So
go
I
ahead.
installed solar 6 years ago, I believe, and um, we had at that time it wasn't really necessary to get a battery, so we just have I think about 12 panels or maybe less, and we it paid for itself. The bottom line is it paid for itself in about 4 years, and we also went to a heat pump, so we no longer have natural gas for heating, and we no longer pay for electricity. Some years we get $20 or $30 back at the end of the year when things settle down or settle up, as they say. So it was a very positive experience for us. The only difference if you do it now is that the economics of this, and the installers are going to explain this in a lot more detail, are that you do need a battery, at least one battery, to make that work as well. But I'll just stop there. Thanks.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you so much, Randy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over now to our first installer. So that's Harina Kapoor of iKim Solar. And she is going to walk us through how solar energy works, how solar panels work, and the details of their Solarize Irvine offer. So Harina, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Elise, for the introduction. And I want to thank everyone for attending the workshop this evening. Also, I'd like to thank the Solarize Irvine and OC Goes Solar Committee for the opportunity to work with them for over 7 years. And through this program, we have installed solar for about 650 homes in Irvine. Also, I see some of the attendees have come from the One Irvine loan program. And we've done about over 20 such loans where they got the One Irvine loan and qualified for it to get their solar. All right, so during my presentation, I shall go over how solar and batteries work. I will also talk briefly about our company and our price offerings. Next slide, please. The solar panels, so how does solar work? The solar panels are mounted on the rooftop using racking, which sits on the roof and is mechanically fastened onto the roof rafters using stanchions or tile hooks. The roof penetrations are sealed properly such that there are no water leaks. The solar panels are then mounted on the racking. As we are aware, the solar panels absorb the sun's energy and convert it to DC power. But the house uses AC, so the DC has to be converted to AC, and it's done using inverters. There are two main types of inverters, the string inverter, which is for us the Tesla string inverter, and the end-phase microinverters. So the central inverters are generally not recommended since there is a central point of failure. Also, if a few panels are shaded by some obstruction, then the entire string shall stop producing. Microinverters are the better choice since there is an individual inverter per panel, which enables you to monitor the system at the per panel level. Also, if there is shading on a couple of panels, solar panels, then the rest of the system will continue to produce energy and when you have the in-phase system. Now, next slide, please. When solar is being generated, the energy, it goes to your house first. And then the excess production goes to the grid utility. However, the export rates from the utility companies are extremely low. It's just a few cents per kilowatt hour. So it has become very essential to store the excess energy produced into a battery and then use the battery to power your house in the night after sundown. Next slide, please. So this slide shows two screenshots from the in-phase monitoring app. Solar powers the house during the daytime, not requiring any energy from the grid. The excess energy produced is used to charge the batteries. And as you can see, the grid is idle. Now, at nighttime, after sundown, when the solar panels stop producing, the battery will power your home. If you have sufficient batteries, you can pretty much be grid independent. If you don't have enough batteries to power your house at night, that's not the end of the world because you'll just use the energy from the grid at that time and have to pay the grid, have to pay SC. Now, during rainy days also, the solar production is lower than normal, so you'll end up using energy from the utility company at that time. Next slide, please. So talking about batteries, here's the rate. This is the time of use rate. As you can see, the rates are really expensive between 4 to 9 p.m. or 5 to 8 p.m., depending on the time of use plan you are on. And you want to try and avoid, in general, to use energy during that time period. And as you notice, for all other times, it's more than 27 cents per kilowatt hour. And when you export to Edison, they're paying you less than 7 cents. That's why batteries are essential. Next slide, please. So we installed two types of batteries, Enphase and Tesla Powerwall. So this is how it is. So you have your solar panels on the roof. Then you can have either the Tesla string inverter, or you can have the Enphase micro inverters. You can have the Tesla battery Powerwall, or you can have the Enphase batteries. There's one more combination where you can have Enphase micro inverters and you can have Tesla batteries, which is our most popular combination that we sell. So the differences basically are that the Enphase comes between with like an increments of 5 kilowatt hour and 10 kilowatt hour. Tesla battery comes in 13.5 kilowatt hour increments, the battery size. Enphase has a higher warranty of 15 years, whereas Tesla is 10 years. Now, both of them are considered very safe now. They're both lithium iron phosphate. Next slide, please. Now with Tesla batteries, the cool concept is that you can attach more Tesla Powerwall expansion batteries, and all you do is just daisy chain them. So let's say tomorrow, if your energy needs increase after sundown, you can easily add another Tesla Powerwall expansion battery to your original system. Next slide, please. Okay, so that was my technical presentation. Now about us. Why choose IKIM Solar? So first, we do not hire any subcontractors. Everybody's on our payroll. We even have a roofer on our payroll. We have a 5-star Yelp rating. And if you look at general workmanship, our workmanship compared to almost every other installer is much better. I always say my electricians have like OCD. So the conduit runs, the layouts, the leveling, everything is like perfect. We try to hide as much conduit and keep it looking very clean and nice, the installations. We've been with this program for over 7 years. We stock inventory, and also we have health insurance for employees, 401k. And I share 12% of our company's net profit amongst our employees. So we have near zero turnover. It's the same installers who've been with me installing for 8 years. Next slide, please. So what do we need from you to design the system? We need your contact information, which we will get from Elise tomorrow morning. We also want to know how old is your roof. Very important thing is we want to know if you're planning to increase your energy needs, because if you plan to get an electric car or a heat pump, you should inform us so we can size your system accordingly. And I will require your SC bill, like in the PDF format, and also the hourly interval data. And the next slide will show how to get the hourly interval data. So if you go to your sc.com account, you see the usage link, click on that, click on green button download. Give me 1 year of data in a CSV file format, .csv, not in the XML. All right, next slide, please. So if you're getting an electric car, how do we handle that, right? So we will add about 5 to 6 panels for every 10,000 miles you drive. And it's very important that you want to charge during the day. You want to run your major appliances during the day so that you need lesser batteries to power your house in the night. That way your system cost is lower. Next slide, please. So here's an example, assuming that your energy usage is 5,000 kilowatt hours and you're going to drive 10,000 miles. I'm going to add 3,000 kilowatt hours for the charging. So it's 8,000. But we will not design a system of just 8,000. We're going to pad it up. We're going to cushion it by about 120%, because once people get solar, they get all excited and they'll run the air conditioner very freely, and the bills start coming and they're like, hey, why am I getting a bill? So it's always good to buffer up a little bit. Next slide, please. We offer additional services, like we can do MSP upgrades, main service panel upgrades, 200 amp upgrades. If your roof is really old, we can replace it. We can install new roof paper also if you have concrete tiles. And we can also install EV chargers. Next slide, please. So how do we check your roof? If your roof is more than 15 years old, we will come check your roof paper. So as you can see on the picture on the left, the roof paper is really dirty, and if you kind of bend it, it'll crack. So we will give you a quote to install 2 new layers of 30-pound roof paper or 1 layer of synthetic paper, and we will add it to your system cost. Next slide, please. And what solar panels do we use? We use REC. It's an award-winning panel. Currently we are very well stocked with the REC 460. We had REC 460, then we went to REC 450, but now we are back to REC 460s. They're more efficient at 22.2% efficiency and industry low degradation at 8%, which means that after 25 years, your solar panel will still produce 92%, which is excellent. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's talk about pricing. What's so good about this program? As you can see, all the sales and marketing is done by Solarize Irvine program. So we are saving that money and we are passing it on to you, which allows us to offer you a group discount. Next slide, please. So the red pricing is the non-Solarize Irvine pricing, whereas the black price is the Solarize Irvine pricing. And like I said, you can do the solar panels with either the Tesla string inverter or with the microinverters. So we have 2 prices over there. Microinverters, as you can see, are more expensive. And I would say quite a few customers are going with the Tesla string and the Tesla battery option too. Next slide, please. So this side is super complicated because there's a lot of battery options. We can Enphase batteries, 10Cs, 210Cs, Tesla Powerwall. There's different things, and you will get a copy of this slide and pricing from Elise tomorrow. Next slide, please. Here's a case study for a family that installed 14 REC 460-watt panels with a Tesla string inverter and 1 Tesla battery. Their system cost was $28,000, and the net system cost was about $19,600. The payback is about 6 years. Next slide, please. So the installation process is key. Right now, we are running, I want to say, about 6 to 8 weeks for installation. And from the time you sign the contract, we prepare the permit plans, and then we send it for permitting and the HOA approvals. Once we get both the approvals, then we will schedule your installation. And after the installation is completed, we will schedule your city inspection, and we will also set up your monitoring system at that time and commission the batteries. And once the city inspection passes, we will submit the signed job card to Edison, and they will grant you an official permission to operate. Next slide, please. So our warranty, the manufacturer, REC panels are great. They offer, the company of manufacturer offers a 25-year product performance and labor warranty, which means that in the next 25 years, if the solar panel breaks, which it hardly ever breaks, the company REC will cover everything, labor costs and part replacement cost. The inverter warranty from Enphase is 25 years, but the labor warranty is only 2 years. And the battery warranty for Enphase is 15, Tesla is 10. We offer a 10-year roof penetration, labor, and installation warranty. Next slide, please. So we're bonded and insured. We have, we have a liability insurance coverage and workers' comp. And that is it for my presentation. You can ask your questions at the end, or I will respond to some during the chat session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harina. We really appreciate that. So now I want to welcome Jake Stevenson from Sunergy, who's going to talk to us a bit more in depth about battery storage and the details of their Solarize Irvine offer. So go ahead and take it away, Jake.
Sure. Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you, OC Goes Solar and Solarize Irvine. Happy to be here and read a great explanation of the products and really what it looks like to go solar. So I'm going to go through this on the value of the batteries and why they're so essential in this post NEM 2 market, why they're necessary. And Randy, you touched on it. With that shift in the solar industry, batteries are now essential if you want to see savings with your solar system. So, with every utility, everyone has different programs. The reason for batteries right now are because of time of use hours. As Harina was saying, at different times in the day, they charge you different rates. Once your battery is filled, you're getting credited pennies if you send that power back. So there is a strategy that we like to work with clients on in order to kind of dictate or better help them use power at certain points of the day so they can maximize savings with the current system. The average price per kilowatt in solar right now in California is 45 cents. So what we want to do is get as much bill avoidance as possible and how we deploy the energy back. Our solar reps, if you work with our company, will go through a detailed explanation on really how to get the most bang for your buck with the system. Could you jump slide, please? Cool. So with Enphase and with a lot of these battery systems now, the technology is super sophisticated. There's a lot of AI programs built in. Batteries charge during the day using excess solar energy when there is more generated than consumption. Batteries discharge in the evening for self-consumption when energy import rates are high. So just to piggyback on what we said earlier, we don't want to just send all this power back to the grid and get nothing credited for it. We want to strategize the time of day we use power, allowing those batteries to fill. So as we go into the expensive hours of the day, we're simply just pulling out of those batteries to avoid any of those extreme rates. Jump slide, please. And this is just a little graph to kind of give you a visual on how your battery daily cycling is going to be. In the morning, you're not really sending a ton of power into the battery. You're going to be using in real time. Also, our reps would like to work with you on any habit changes. If you have the ability to charge your EV car in the day, run some of those heavier loads so that power from the sun is feeding into the home while excess is going into the battery. As it gets darker later in the day, we want to have all of those heavier loads ran, batteries filled. So when we get into those time of use rates, that 4 to 9 or 5 to 8 window, we have full batteries that we're deploying all that power. This way we have complete bill avoidance. Now that is done depending on how much power you use by sometimes one, but sometimes multiple batteries. Jump slide, please. Take control of your energy cost for the life of your system. This chart right here is really just showing you the price per kilowatt when you have solar versus the current price per kilowatt in the state of California. So to begin solar, the average price per watt is about 20 cents, like flat rate, whereas the average price in California per watt is about 45 cents. So to begin, solar should cut your bill a little bit more than in half. And every year you have the solar, you're really watching that investment blossom and being happier with what you purchased. I've been in the solar industry 12 years, and when I first got in, I didn't really understand how quickly rates will change. But in the market we're in now, it gets scary. So solar is a great solution to kind of absolve fear and really help us planning financially, especially retirement planning is where we see a ton of value when it comes to solar. Next slide, please. This is just really piggybacking on what I said earlier about the number of batteries. Not every homeowner can get away with one battery if you want to really have independence and avoidance in cost with a utility company. So if you do solar without a battery, we can definitely help you reduce your cost, but you will still have utility bills. People ask all the time, hey, I want to skip the battery, or hey, can I get away with no batteries? If you do that, just to be very clear, you will not have the experience you're looking for with solar. You can usually, without batteries, if you cover the power, about a 55% dollar offset. And then depending on how many you use in our conversation, we can help you determine how many are required. Sometimes one, sometimes three, sometimes more. And this is also where, as Harina said, you get into habit changes. Most people run their power whenever they want until they look at solar and kind of speak with a professional. So maybe that's charging the EV at those expensive times. And with a couple habit changes, you can sometimes go from 2 to 1 battery if your lifestyle allows it. You can make those adjustments. Next slide, please. Thank you for the markings, making it clear. Next slide.
If someone is making markings on the screen, could you please turn it off? Okay.
It has your name, so I was like, okay, I get it. This is just going into more savings with the IQ EV charger. Coupling that with your solar system can really maximize benefit time. Instead of it just charging at the same time every day or in those peak rates, there are now softwares built into these chargers. So you can really like taper how you're juicing that battery. What you don't want to happen is you get home from work, you start pulling power right at those peak rates when you really want to kind of coast. Because if you are buying a surplus at that point, it would be very expensive. You can, if you're getting the charger with the system, we can set that up for you so that you're not just throttle, like ripping through that battery at that time of day. And there's like a soft touch throughout the day. So you're not shredding that battery power. If you do that, you will potentially have pretty big bills on top of your solar. Depending on your EV, how much you drive, the type of charger, you can really move through one battery fairly quickly with an EV. Next slide, please. That's really like the technical side of things. And again, if you have questions, if any of that's interesting, we'd love to meet with you, go over this in detail. Solar is very case by case. I know we're talking in general terms, but it is so case by case in this industry. I've seen little shacks use a ton of power and huge homes use a little bit of power. So again, I'd love to walk you guys through that in more detail personally. Just a little bit about the Enphase 4.0 system. With our company, we are strictly using Enphase at this point. We believe it is the best in the market. They have amazing warranties. We've built an incredible relationship with them, and we find that customer service with them is unmatched. And in my career in solar, that's what I use on everyone. On my family's homes, this is the system I use. Next slide, please. So with the batteries, there are two different ways to do this mainly. And if anyone's listening, just be very careful. When you get batteries, that does not mean your home is backed up. If you get a standard battery, it will be set to grid arbitrage, which means it is getting you out of those expensive hours of the day, which is definitely helpful for cost. But there's a common misconception when you buy a battery, you would think if the grid went down, I would have power. So the other way to power it outside of grid arbitrage is whole home battery backup. We do not do grid arbitrage anymore. We only do whole home battery backup. It saves a lot of headache down the road, and it kind of meets the expectation most homeowners have when they're looking into batteries. So you're going to get two benefits. One, all of that time of use rate, you're going to have massive bill avoidance, get out of those expensive hours of the day. But on top of that, you're also going to have grid independence if the grid were to go down for days, weeks, months. If it's a fear of yours and you want to learn more about that, again, we can talk about strategies and way to maximize that so that you really can make it through a week or weeks without any power from the grid. Next slide, please. This is just the chart here showing you the savings you have with the difference of a string inverter Tesla system versus an Enphase. With an Enphase system, yeah, more than $100,000 in saving over the lifetime with the system. One of the big things we love about the Enphase package, it separates the batteries from the inverter. Single points of failure in solar that was what I was introduced to when I first started in the industry. The technology has really moved a long way. So with Enphase, you have a 25-year inverter warranty. One of the issues with the Powerwall is the battery is the inverter. So if that goes down, your entire system goes down. So we like that we can separate them. The Enphase equipment has a battery warranty of 15-year, whereas the Tesla has a 10. The technology also allows for independent panel monitoring. So when you play this tape out, of course, you want to have a good installation, but 10 years, 5 years down the road, that's the world I'm living in. It's very helpful if I'm able to see, panel number 6 has an issue, and we get that type of clarity and viewing with an Enphase system versus not just Tesla, but any string inverter system, really. Next slide, please. One of the big upgrades, and Arena mentioned this as well, but the Enphase now comes in a 10 kilowatt battery. We were lucky enough to do the beta testing. We have a YouTube video out there you can check out. But the Enphase batteries, the biggest issue we had, and this really relates to Irvine, is size. A lot of the homes we do are multifamily units. Real estate in California is valuable. The 5Ps they're huge. They're big batteries for what you get out of it. The 10C is almost half the size of one 5P. It is thicker, but we are able to accommodate a lot more battery in a much smaller area. You could also stack these. So you can now get like 20 kilowatt hours in like the smallest compact format to date with any system, which makes it a lot easier for installation. People that have obstructions, it's allowed us to connect a lot more people with batteries. Next slide. This is just showing the app for Enphase. One of the benefits, and I mentioned it earlier, but it's the clarity you get with your system. We not only do production monitoring being you can see what the solar produces, but we do complementary consumption monitoring. So you will also be able to see how much you use in that same app. You'll see your batteries, how much power is in there. So depending on the person, but most people don't geek out on solar. They want it to work. They want their bill reduced, plain and simple. The Enphase app, it's a one-click app. Everything is in there. How much you use, how much you produce, how much is in that battery. So for people that kind of just want to make sure it's working, maybe a quick glance on a sunny day, see what it's doing, or provide longer protection in a blackout, it's extremely effective to just have one place to click, easy to use, easy to read. And again, our reps, if you have a consultation with us, will walk you through any details you have. Next slide. Do I need a main panel upgrade? One of the things we do at Sunergy, before you even get into the weeds, no one in construction likes surprises. They're not fun. It's a really quick way to make a bad representation with the client. Before you even really get into the weeds with us, we will get pictures of your main panel. We will assure you over the phone if we can or cannot do it. If we miss that main panel, that it needs an upgrade, and we didn't quote that to you, we will eat the cost of the main panel upgrade. Next slide, please. This is just a layout. Like I said, we're the beta partners for Enphase, so we have been able to do these for the last 9 months all throughout California. Again, there's a video on YouTube if you're interested. I can send you. It's with our owners, kind of demoing these products. But just to kind of show you the aesthetic of these, they're a lot cleaner. This is 2 side by side. For Irvine, most of the ones we do are on top of one another, just to save wall space. That's then the Combiner 6. Not to go too into the weeds on this call, but one of the cool things that Enphase is doing is with this Combiner 6, it's trying to future-proof these systems. Up until recently, batteries were, hey, I bought a Powerwall 2, I need another Powerwall 2. And it's difficult as technology progresses to source backward. So with the Combiner 6, it's the first product that I've seen in the battery world that has forward integration, but they're also allowing upgrades to go back. So in the future, if you need a 5 kilowatt, that's something you could now connect to your new system, which is just kind of a cool thing in the solar market. It's nice to buy technology knowing, hey, this is not outdated next year. These plan on adding to the system. Next slide, please. Yeah, our process with Sunergy, if any of this is interesting or you have any questions, you want to talk about the solar with any of our representatives or myself, you'll simply book the meeting through us, speak with our representatives. You'll have a dedicated project manager assigned. We will do everything for you. We take all the work out of it. We do ask, especially right now, that it is crunch time in solar. It is very hectic. We ask that you take this seriously. Please reply to those emails as soon as possible. If there are questions, if anything, just get back with your reps, your project managers. We are working overtime at Sunergy. We're doing everything we can to get these projects in so you can meet that federal tax credit deadline. It's a huge deal for our clients. We understand that. And yeah, we're doing everything in our power to ensure that for you guys. You'll have a dedicated project manager. We'll submit for the building permits. We'll do your installation as quickly as possible. Our turnaround time is about 8 weeks. That's from the time you sign up to the time it's done, about 8 weeks. And then once it's done, we have to contact the utility company to provide interconnection or PTO. That timeline, it depends what their timeline looks like. It's one of the things out of our control, but we will do everything we have to for the tax credit. PTO, luckily, is not part of the tax credit. What we need to happen is to have your expenditures made and your system operating. That does not mean PTO with the utility. Also, by the way, PTO is a California thing. I say this because I'm on the phone all day with clients, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of companies right now are just pushing leases for people because they feel like that's the only way to handle it. Because Sunergy doesn't subcontract people, it allows us to be in a lot more control of our timeline so that if we are signing you up for solar, we know that we can finish the install. We're not ingesting business that we can't follow through with. Next slide. Just a little bit more about us on the back end. We do have a 5-star. We use Energy Sage. It's a huge platform for solar installers. It works in every state. Huge in California. It is strictly solar. So if you want to take a deeper dive with us outside of the Solarize Irvine, check us out on Energy Sage. It's what we use to generate a lot of our business. It's our platform that we cherish and really work a lot on. Next slide, please. Now, Solarize Irvine pricing, we too do, as some of you may know, way different pricing than we do with our standard clients. This actually is inaccurate. We had a price raise today for standard clients where the batteries are now 15,000. We are still honoring the Solarize Irvine pricing. They are 11,450. Our price per watt is a lot cheaper than our clients. That has also been changed. So yeah, with Solarize Irvine in the package with OC Go Solar, if you are to work with us, you're getting solar at a dramatic discount from what other people were to get solar from us. Next slide, please. I realize if you don't know about solar, price per watt might be confusing. It's cheaper with Solarize Irvine, to put it extremely simply, than it is with our standard clients. This is really just showing you a line by line, like an itemized breakdown of the products with different price points. But again, your price per watt is going to be a lot cheaper with Solarize Irvine, and your battery pricing is substantially reduced as a Solarize Irvine client. Next slide, please. Additional rebates. We have a whole team that will help you out with SGIP application. There are rebates depending on where you live, what you can apply for. If that is something you think you qualify for, or you've already done the research and you know you do, just rest assured we will apply for all of those things for you. This too would be a thing we ask you to please hop on your email, reply back. A lot of these documents in solar, we need you to sign off on. The quicker the response time, the quicker we can move. Next slide, please. Yeah, the 30% tax credit expires on, if you take a phone call with us, you will see it's on the front of our mind. You know, it's most of the people that call in, that's the first thing out of their mouth. Hey, what's the deal with the tax credit? Am I going to get it? There is still time. We still have 3 months of the year left. So although there is a huge rush, the solar turnaround time takes about 2 months. We have 3 months to do projects right now. We have a ton of teams. We have a ton of installer crews everywhere, but the time is running thin. So if it is something of any interest at all that you ever want to go solar with this incentive, I recommend as quickly as possible, just hopping on the phone, quick 10, 15-minute phone call, see if we can make sense of this for you or see if it works for you. The fear that the industry has, including our company, is once the tax credit's gone, these utility companies they dominate the industry. They can do whatever they want. The projections and the whispers in the industry are that a 75 cent to $1 a kilowatt increase in electricity bills are coming sooner than later. So yeah, to avoid that, we can put solar in and reduce any of that fear. Next slide. Yeah, just piggybacking on it, there is still time for the tax credit. There is still an opportunity to do solar, to not have to lease the system. You can still own the solar outright and still get those federal tax credits for yourself. Next slide. This is just more, we're in Lake Forest. I'm personally in Irvine. I live right by Irvine Spectrum Center, but we are like the #1 rated in Lake Forest in Irvine, California. We really pride ourselves on that. We do a lot of work all over the state, but we do most of our work right down the street from ourselves. Next slide. Yeah, just a little bit more about Sunergy on the back end. Founded in 2015 in Lake Forest. We do not subcontract. We serve the entire state, which also means if you have referrals, we'll pay you a referral fee. If you have someone up north or down south that could benefit from going solar, please send them our way. We'll gladly credit you for them. 25-year warranty on the panels, the inverters, and that's parts, performance, and labor. We are a ProTrust REC installer. We are the #1 rated Enphase installer in the state of California. And the only difference in warranty is going to be the batteries. Batteries just being a lot newer of a market. They don't have 25-year warranties yet, but because we use the Enphase, it's a 15-year. And then for roof leak warranty, we also hold a 25-year warranty. With Solarize Irvine, we do on-site visits for every person that signs up. So if that's any of a concern of the roof or the paper underneath, it will be addressed immediately as you start your project. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Jake. We definitely appreciate that. And so now we are going to take this time to open it up to any questions that you all have. So you can either unmute yourself and you can ask us any questions that you have directly, or again, I know the chat has been very active. Feel free to utilize the chat and we can answer questions there. So I'm going to stop the share just for a moment. And yes, so any questions, please feel free to ask away.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
The roof I have is a clay tile. Is it feasible to install the solar panels with clay tiles?
So, can I take that question, Alicia?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yes, clay tile. Sometimes the tiles are not fragile. And in that case, we can install on top of it. But if the clay tiles are fragile, then we cannot, because we'll break several hundred tiles, and it's more expensive to labor is more intensive to install solar panels. So we would basically ask to remove the clay tiles, install composite shingle roofing, and then we would install solar panels on that. And once the solar panels have been installed, we will send our roofer back, who will basically frame the solar panels with the tiles again. You know? Yeah. So there's additional costs for that, for roofing cost.
Thank you.
Okay, I see we have a fellow Elise Brio who has raised their hand. So please go ahead and ask your question if you've raised your hand.
Yes, I was going to ask, I've heard kind of various things from different installers about the Enphase microinverters versus the Solar Edge optimizers. And I was wondering if someone could speak about like what are some of the pros and cons between them, specifically when it comes to the clipping that I've heard about with the Enphase installer or the Enphase microinverters.
Is somebody trying to sell you Solar Edge inverter and optimizers?
Correct, yeah. As opposed as saying it's actually a bit cheaper for the Solar Edge to have kind of the one DC to AC conversion as opposed to the individual Enphase inverters.
Okay, yeah. So first, with SolarEdge, if you can just Google a little bit. We used to install SolarEdge inverters like 5 years back, but their failure rate is almost, I want to say 35%. So it's not a great company and a great product. We wouldn't even touch them, you know. But Enphase microinverters are definitely much better. And you're right, the SolarEdge optimizers, because it's the DC watts that's coming down, the conversion's less, it will probably produce a little bit more over the year. But at the end of the day, the company, in my opinion, is not a good company to work with. Enphase is way better. I don't know if Jake wants to add something to that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it's shocking when I see SolarEdge sold in solar anymore. They have the highest fail rate of any product I've ever seen on the market. They are disastrous with warranty claims. They have a 12-year warranty inverter. Even if you buy the extended, it will burn out, hopefully at year 12, most likely year 6. They're also rated to the system size. So your inverter is only capable of handling so many panels. So it's not as simple as, hey, I want to add 5 more panels. I bought an EV. It's, well, your inverter isn't rated correctly. So now it's expanding an additional inverter. It's very expensive. And these conversion ratios are minuscule. I would say the proper thing to do is work with a team who sizes your Enphase micro inverter correctly to avoid as much clipping as possible so that you are getting maximum bang for your buck. But you will spend tremendously more money with SolarEdge. Yeah, do like Google them, look into SolarEdge. It's rough on the back end.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Maureen, go ahead. Maureen, you are on mute.
I'm sorry, I thought I unmuted myself. Like it went back to mute. We have a question in the chat. Somebody's saying they just moved into a brand new home with 10 panels. They are told by their provider that they have to wait at least 6 months or 1 year before they can add more panels with batteries. Seems to be a restriction by SCE. Is this correct?
Yeah, I need more information on that. Brand new home, maybe they don't have PTO yet, that's why. And if they don't have PTO, how would we add to the system? Maybe that's what the issue is. But yeah, I would ask the home builder further, like why exactly can I not add? What's the technical reason? You know, and then once we know that, we can probably give a better answer. But I think maybe they don't have PTO, but if they've already moved in, they should technically get the PTO pretty soon, within a couple of months. So I'm not sure what's really going on there. Sorry.
All right, I see Stephen has a hand raised, and then Madison, you can go afterward.
Yeah, I have two questions. So I have an existing solar system. It's on Solar Edge. The first question is, I know a lot of failure rate on the Solar Edge. What happened if my system fail and I cannot replace it with another Solar Edge? Will that trigger the reset of my net metering 2.0? The second question is, if I want to add a battery with the current solar edge system, what are my options? Can I do the arbitrage, or I have to do the full house backup battery?
So the first question is, what if your inverter fails, right? So then it's under the warranty, and or you'll just replace it. That was your question about the failure of the inverter, correct?
Yeah. So I just worry about that the whole system is fail, and then Solar Edge is went out of business or something like that, and I got forced to use other converter.
Yeah.
Will the contract, the net metering, force me to say no? You are changing your system now, and you know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's okay long as you put the same size system, like you don't try to expand too much. Yeah, I think
Okay.
if it's the same size, and if the inverters fail and you're replacing it with micro inverters, let's say, or if you can find another solar, maybe some people stock the solar edge inverters, maybe you can buy that and replace it. I think it would be fine. Nobody will kick you out of NEM 2.0, I think. And the second question, the battery, we have customers who have solar edge inverters, and we are installing Tesla Powerwall batteries for them without an issue, and they are continuing to stay grandfathered under the NEM 2.0 program. And they are
So
getting
will
10% tax credit too, yeah.
so I know the end phase is probably a better option for battery, correct?
Well, depends who you're talking to. But I think Powerwall is probably the best in the industry right now, unless you absolutely hate Elon Musk, you know?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
if it's a power wall, is that gonna be a whole house backup, or is just
Yeah.
the
With one Tesla Powerwall 13.5 kilowatt hour, you can get a full home backup. Yes.
okay, got it.
Mhm.
Thing too, really quick, with your existing system, with Enphase products, you can do what's called a non-export. So messing with the utility, never a smart move. You can run a system in a non-export system. So depending on what your need is, whether it's a power or a storage deployment, talk to your rep, like talk to us, and we can kind of set that up. The thing with the Enphase that I really like is the future proofing. And Harina, you may know this too, but uh, I'm working right now with two people that work for Tesla. They're having their Roadrunner battery come out in 2026. There's no future compatibility. So when you're buying these products, they're not cheap. Solar is not a cheap industry. So keeping your stuff abreast to new tech is super vital. I've never seen that in the battery world. We're able to do it with Enphase products like IQ7 and above, all kind of interchangeable, but not in the battery world until like now. So that's something to keep in mind when you're making your decision. It's something we cover big time is like compatibility with the combiner six. Do research on it, watch their videos. It's really helpful.
In terms of the cost, which one has higher cost per kilowatt, Tesla or Enphase?
So, yeah, I would say, good question. I would say Tesla is probably cheaper per kilowatt hour.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Madison, please go ahead.
Yeah, that was my question regarding the brand new home. So, the solar actually is working. It's producing energy right now, and it's been about like 2 months. But my provider actually is Sunrun. That's the builder chose. So when I actually asked them, they say I can't add more panels at the moment because SCE requires usage data of 6 months or 1 year before they will actually approve additional panels to be installed. So I wasn't sure. I didn't wanted to ask if what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure about that technical detail. There's somebody else in my company who handles that. I will ask her and get back to you.
Okay.
It shouldn't be that. It depends. It is case by case, but like there's load justification you can do because new homeowners move in all the time with zero bills, but you're able to put systems on. Now they do have caps and regulations depending on how much you can put, but to Harina's point, it's weird that they're just arbitrarily saying no. I'm curious but yeah, it might be a special program where your Sunrun isn't my favorite company to work against, but yeah, there's more into that. But you could theoretically simply add more panels. It happens all the time. But yeah, more of a technical question. If you have questions, I'd go through it with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we have a question in the chat from Sue who says, if the roof leaks after solar installation, who will determine what is the cause? What happens if the solar installer says it's the roof, but the roofer says it's the solar install?
Yeah, I can take that. If the roof leaks after solar, who will determine what is the cause? Okay, so good question. If it is normally, first one was we have like no roof leaks. We had one roof leak. That's it, several years back. But you want to hire contractors, installers that are very experienced. But if there's a roof leak, then if it's related to it's near our solar panel and installation area, then obviously it's our problem. But sometimes near the solar panels, there would be a chimney or a vent pipe, and those need constant sealing and sealants. Maintenance work is needed for those, and if those are leaking, then we are not responsible. So you're right, sometimes it's like, is it the roofer or is it us? But if it is related to our solar installation with the penetrations, we will come and fix the problem. And if it's related to a chimney or a vent pipe that's right next to your solar panels, then it would be the roofer that you'd have to call for maintenance.
All right, thank you. So we have time for about one or two more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up with information about next steps. So are there any final questions that folks have?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this solar credit only available for owner-occupied home, or you can also put it on a rental house?
So that's a good question, and it's actually best answered by our tax accountant. But in my experience, it's the person who is living in the house that has to claim the tax credit. So if it's the tenant, then the tenant should. That's my understanding, but it's best to check with your homeowner, with your accountant. Yeah.
Also, is there ongoing maintenance required where one has to arrange to go someone up on top of the roof to wash them or clean them periodically?
That's a good question. If your solar panels are mounted on a sloped roof, then the rainwater will wash the panels off. And I mean, I've had panels for 13, 14 years and I've never washed them. The production's just fine, So we have many customers who don't wash their panels. But if your solar panels are on a flat roof at a 5-degree tilt or 0-degree tilt, like flat, then definitely you want to wash your panels once a year at least. And you can monitor your production, right? You can check year after year and see if you're producing, if it's significantly gone down, then it's probably a lot of dust or bird poop or something, and then in that case, you should wash it. And if you want to wash it, then you want to find a panel washing company. Normally, companies that wash windows will also do that. We have a couple of recommendations if you are looking for someone, or just go on Yelp and find a good company with good Yelp reviews. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to have Tina go ahead and then Stephen, and then we will wrap it up and share next steps. So Tina, go ahead with your question.
Hi, just an overall point of view about PPAs and lease to own contracts. Any overall thoughts on whether those are not great financial options? I know it's very case by case, but any overall thoughts?
So actually, Sanait can take that question after me, but I will talk about it a little bit. That we have never leased a system because we always wanted the homeowners to take the 30% tax credit. But with it being gone end of this year, next year, the leasing companies up till if you sign up till July can actually be eligible to claim the 30% tax credit. So what's going to happen is that the leasing companies will start passing on their savings to you. So if you do a prepay lease, then it's like a cash purchase. So let's say, example, a prepay lease company might say, okay, we are getting 30%, we will give you 20%, and then we'll keep the 10%. We will own the system for, they have to keep the ownership for 5 years minimum. And then after 5 years, they'll transfer the ownership to you. That would be the best deal, I would say, starting next year. But if there's still time now, and if you want to move forward, there's nothing better than the 30% tax credit, which you can claim. And I don't know if, yeah.
I wanted to jump in for a second just to mention that for financing, I put some information in the chat, and Harina thankfully had mentioned it as well. In Irvine, we have this One Irvine program, and the city council keeps reinvesting money into it. The money goes really quickly because it's very popular. But right now, the city does have a no interest loan for up to $25,000 that solar is eligible for. And it actually just gets paid back with the sale or transfer of the home. So that's a really great deal. And that's through the One Irvine program. I dropped the link. I can redrop it again since it was further back in the chat. But if you're thinking about financing, we got that great presentation from the Go Green financing folks. But Irvine, if you are an Irvine resident, and specifically if your home is built in 1980 or earlier, because that program is designed to help rehabilitate older homes and do those sustainability upgrades. So I just wanted to give that plug. It's zero interest, up to $25,000, and the repayment of the loan is just with the sale or transfer of the home. So that money is first come, first serve, and I'll put information in the chat.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Celine. That's really helpful to share with folks as well. And thank you, Harina. So Stephen, go ahead with your question. Stephen, did you have another question to ask?
Yeah. So I have I was muted. Yeah, I have a question regarding the OCPA, the EV charger, $1,000 rebate. I just wondering if there's any string attached or income limit for that program, or I can create an account and go to that website and order a EV charger.
Yeah, there's no string attached. It's shocking. You just go online and we can post the link actually. I have the link if you want me to post it. Yeah, just go there and apply for it. Also, if you sign the contract with anybody for solar, you can actually apply for the $1,000 battery rebate also, which is, I think, excellent.
A $1,000 battery rebate?
Yeah, I'll post, I have the links that I send to customers. I'll post both those links in the chat box right now.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steve,
and we will share this with you all tomorrow via email as well.
Oh, you'll share the links also?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm sending it to you just now in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I got it handy for all my customers.
You only have to be their customer. You have to be a customer
Oh,
of
yeah,
OC
yeah, of course. Yeah.
to claim it.
And let's say you're not their customer, then you can become their customer, but you have to stay their customer for 3 months before being eligible.
So the OCPA, I assume everybody's an OCPA customer, right?
Yeah, if you didn't opt out, if you live in Irvine and you didn't opt out, you're an OCPA customer.
So if I go into the website and try to create an account, do I use my SCE account to log in, or it's a brand new account?
Oh, you use your electric bill account because it still comes from SCE.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
even look at the links I posted. Just click here, and you can apply for it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
At least,
Yeah, because I try to go into the website and they say create a new account. So technically I can just use my SCE to log in, sign in.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
At least I know we're
They
going
also have a
over.
local phone line, sir. So if you are having trouble logging in, if you just go to their website and we can drop that information, they have like a phone line you can call that has local representatives to help with that. And the easiest way to see if you are an OCPA customer is to look at your bill, whether that's electronic or paper. If you look at the breakdown of your energy bill, it'll show if your generation charge is from OCPA or not. So that's a fast way to check.
Okay, thanks.
Elise, I know we're going over, but I think there was a question that came in early from Carlos Moreno about electric bill with solar. I don't know if the solar contractors want to address it. Maybe the question is not very clear if the person is on net energy metering 3, which I am suspecting they are. Carlos Moreno, are you here? Do you
Yes,
want to
I'm
ask
here.
a question?
Yeah, we are in M3. We are in the same situation as what's the name? Madison. We bought our house this year. Um, Sunrun is our provider. It's a new construction home, so we had to purchase the solar panels, and we thought we were gonna save energy money on the bill. We come from Washington, and in Washington, in Seattle, we were also using solar panels, and we were shocked because in Washington we didn't have to pay anything for exporting energy, and in fact we actually got what is called bank energy credits during the summer that then during the winter we could use when there was not that much solar production, and we could get those that energy for free. And like I'm saying, we came to California. We're forced to pay the solar system with our house, which by the way is overpriced for what it is. And then to our surprise is, I look at the bills, is we're being charged for sending energy way more than we are even credited for the energy we consume. So we are essentially for every kilowatt we send to the grid, we are paying around 16 cents. So it's not at all something that I would consider, kind of advantages. And I'm shocked about that. And I was just kind of coming here to see, okay, is this normal? What's going on here, right? Thank you.
So Jake or Harina, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm definitely just kind of curious to see your bill. I would like to kind of look on there and on more of a deep dive and see exactly what you're talking about. It's kind of tough when you're just looking at it in a glance. Utilities have a great way of like hiding things or making it difficult for homeowners to read. So yeah, if you send your bill over to us, I'd gladly take a deeper dive on there, explain it to you in more detail. There could be a variety of reasons off the top of my head, but I could like tell you specifically with your bill.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jake. Yeah, I'm
Let
happy
me,
to
let
hear
me
your
just
bill.
interject also. There's nothing straightforward about reading your electric bill. It's multi-pages. I've been looking at these for years. Sometimes it makes more sense than other times. But again, it looks like a net SCE bill. If you go on the right page, you'll find out whether you're an OC Power Authority or not. So it might just be really confusing. What we do know is that you're not going to get credited for your production to the grid the way you were in Washington. That's what NEM 3.0 is you basically get paid very, very little. So they don't charge you to put your excess production into the grid, but it might look that way if you're trying to figure out your bill. But rather, you probably just have too small a system for your house, and that can be addressed in some of the ways that we talked about today.
I mean, just to add to what Randy said, and also there's a time of use pricing in California. So you may be generating energy and sending it to the grid when you're not home in the daytime, and the price, you're not getting credit, like 5 cents per kilowatt hour probably. And when you're coming home, the rates are like 45 cents, 50 cents per kilowatt hour, and you're using energy. So that could be, the net difference that you think you're being charged for the energy you're sending. So I think all those things could be clarified, as Jake said, maybe if you share your utility bill with them.
Yeah, thank you. I'll share with Jake. Thank you.
Or good luck.
Yeah, you can email it to me too, but the best is to contact the utility company, right?
Oh, I
If
already did, believe me.
You
And I
already
already
did.
raised this to the OCPA. It's just crazy. Yeah.
so OCPA wasn't able to help you explain.
Sorry, not OCPA. What was
GC.
A
the
CE?
not well, first SC. I went first with SC, but then I went with another one. Geez,
It has to be OC Power Authority, no?
yes, this one.
OC Power.
Yeah, I raised it to them, and they contacted SC, and SC was able to prove that they are according to the recurrent regulations. That's what they are charging by law. So it's like, okay.
Because they're not supposed to charge you for sending energy.
Oh no, they are. And SC recognized when I talked to them that they are charging me for sending energy.
It's
Yeah, that's
tough
something
when
confusing
you
about here that I think you should share your bill so you can get some things straightened out.
Oh,
Because
I
you're
will.
probably
Yeah.
not producing enough to put power into the grid anyway, at least during the winter. So you just have to have somebody go over your bill with you and see if they can straighten that out.
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're happy as well to have you. If you want to send us an email to this email info@osicosolar.org, feel free to send your bill to us as well, and we're happy to look through it too.
Will do. Thank you.
Elise, yeah.
Yes.
Before you close, I have just a couple of quick reminders and points I want to make, just to let people know. And first is like, well, thank you again for joining us and staying over time. It's like 13 minutes after 8. But first, like, we want to let you know that we'll be sending an email, a follow-up email tomorrow. But I want to stress that make sure that you read the homeowner's guide to solar energy when you get it tomorrow. It's a really helpful resource with great questions to ask your solar contractors before you sign anything. Just we have a ton of questions there for you, and then you can make sure that you have covered all your bases. Second, any explanations and promises or commitments you hear from your solar contractor, make sure you get those in writing. That's just the best way to avoid miscommunications. And the third one is take the time to understand your project's payment structure and timeline. Okay. That can really help you avoid unnecessary installation delays. Because I'm just telling you this from experience that we had in the past. Homeowners will be confused and nothing is moving, and then they haven't made their payments on time, or there wasn't any clear communication between the contractor and the homeowner. Most importantly, please remember we're here to support you in every step of the way. So don't be shy to reach out and email us and talk to us. The only thing that we cannot get involved in, as Elise mentioned earlier, is contract negotiations. So, Elise, I'll send it back to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sanai. That's really important to emphasize. And so, as Sanai mentioned, we will be sending everyone a follow-up email tomorrow that includes the super helpful homeowner's guide with all the list of questions you can ask your installer that, again, we highly recommend that you utilize, as well as all of the links that we've shared and other helpful resources in your solar journey. And additionally, when you signed up for this workshop, you had the option to request a quote. And if you weren't able to do that when you signed up and now you would like to get a quote, please feel free to send us an email at info@osicosolar.org if you are interested in getting a quote from our participating contractors. And then finally, just make sure to follow us on our social media, Osico Solar, our website, osicosolar.org. And again, as I mentioned, feel free to send us an email if you ever have any questions along the way. So thank you all so much. And please be in touch. And I hope you have a really great rest of your evening. Take care, everyone. Bye.